And welcome back to Gotham Sound 2024 Expo. I am with Bob from RF Venue.
Yep.
Glad to be back. So, Bob, tell us a little bit about some of your products. I know we're pretty familiar with the RF Diversity Fan, the Explorer, and some of these other things, but there's a couple special things. I know one on the floor that I want you to get a little bit more into. So, without any further ado, take it away.
Okay. Well, here at our venue, we make wireless audio work better. We try to overcome the typical headaches that anybody using wireless audio has to deal with in the transmission of the RF signal, and that's namely dropouts. What happens when you get a dropout? You get a loss of audio or an RF hit, or maybe you might get some intermodulation distortion. We're trying to alleviate that, and we work with all different brands. We only deal with RF. We're not dealing with the audio or the squelch tones or metadata in the signal. We're just handling RF. We're trying to handle it very cleanly. Okay.
All right, so take us through. I really want to actually dive straight into the RF Explorer.
Okay.
I've been very, very impressed with this, and just tell us a little bit about it and how this tool can be utilized in terms of location scouts and how to best benefit your wireless systems.
Okay, the RF Explorer Pro is a new product, and it looks like just a spectrum analyzer, but it does a lot more. It gives you spectrum analysis, of course, which is really important these days because we've got a shrinking UHF spectrum to use for our mics and in-ear monitors, and more TV channels are getting compressed into that shrinking spectrum. So the days of running blind with our wireless mic and in-ear monitor systems, that's over. You really need to look at what your RF environment is like. So we have a spectrum analysis function on it, but it also has a lot of other functions too. It's a multi-tool, essentially. You can test cables. You can do frequency coordination. You can test any RF device that has an input and output to make sure that your bandpass filters, your distro, your combiners are working. You can test antennas with it. It's all here, and what's amazing about it is because it's all digital, the firmware is constantly being developed. We're adding new features. In fact, there are more features in the RF Explorer Pro than this unit has right now because it has, this is fresh out of the box, hasn't updated the firmware yet. But if I could do that today, I would really show some pretty cool features on it.
Very nice. So then, again, tell us a little bit about this new antenna that you have here on the floor. I think this could be a pretty cool use case here.
Okay, the Spotlight antenna is a reduced sensitivity antenna. Now you might wonder, why would you want an antenna that's less sensitive? And that's because this is a proximity antenna. It's circularly polarized, so it doesn't matter in what angle the transmitter is being held or worn or whatever. And it goes on a floor, an altar, a dais, a stage, whatever. For diversity reception, typically you would use two of them, maybe spaced 6 to 10 feet apart or more. So you get diversity reception. But it's reduced sensitivity, but that's okay because the person with the wireless mic transmitter is right nearby. Maybe right on top of it or somewhere to the side. You're close up to the antenna. So that reduced sensitivity works in our favor by still picking up a good signal, but it ignores all the surrounding RF environment.
Yeah, and the
wireless mics, or not so much wireless mics, but mobile phones, especially T-Mobile.
Anything else, congested area.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Picking up all kinds of stuff. LED video walls, that's another big thing with interference. So you can really pick up a cleaner RF signal just by being closer to the person with the wireless mic and being able to ignore that all the hash surrounding that harsh environment around us.
And so I thought this was super cool. So for this, you could throw this under a carpet.
Yeah.
remote that out to set, and you've got
yeah.
it covered.
Yeah.
Or any kind of like installation where you have the option to kind of
Yeah.
get in on the building of the set beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
You can slide something like that easily
Yeah.
in and out. So very good. And then
Yeah.
show us this
Before
Omni.
before you get to
this
that,
Omni antenna.
TK,
Okay.
we do have a question from Almanax.
We have a couple
Hold on one
diversity-
second. We have a question from online. So Almanax wants to know, what frequency range is the RF Explorer Pro capable of scanning?
The frequency range for the RF Explorer Pro, I think it
Yeah.
goes up to like 4 gigs or something.
6 gigs.
6
it
gigs.
goes from 15 megahertz up to 6 gigs. And to get that extra 3 gigs of coverage, you have to activate the license.
Okay,
So once you take the device out of the box, you register it online with your email address. You get an email, and you get a link also to upgrade the firmware. But then you also get the 2 licenses that you need to unlock the features, the 6 gigahertz feature plus the frequency coordination feature. Now, the frequency coordination feature also, that license includes a cable test
so
function.
you have that feature,
Yeah.
as well.
So in order to get it, fully operational, you have to upgrade the firmware and activate the 2 licenses.
Okay, but that's not any additional costs?
No additional cost.
Just a little bit of effort involved.
If
type
you
in
buy
some
from
things.
RFNU, that's all included in the price. You just have to download the
Software.
the
Yeah, that's a great
files.
value.
Yeah.
That's a great value. So then,
Yeah.
if we could, I want to talk about this smaller antenna real fast.
Okay, this is a Diversity Omni. We have a couple Diversity antenna models, the Diversity Fin and the Diversity Omni. Now, the Diversity Fin is directional, but the Diversity Omni is for when you're going to have the wireless mics anywhere around the antenna. So we have a vertical element and a horizontal element, and that way we get polarization diversity. So it's going to pick up a good signal in either the vertical or the horizontal
element.
plane, or somewhere in between. And as long as you have a good signal on one of the antennas, you're going to get good audio, because that's the idea behind diversity reception.
Yeah, I just really admire this because it's so tiny.
Yeah.
So tiny. You can put it in lots of places.
Yeah.
So, and then lastly, you have some bandpass filters. These are
Yeah.
rated at a couple different megahertz spreads, I believe. Right?
Yeah. We have 6 different bandpass filter models, ranging from 470 up to, we even have up to 698 megahertz for like Europe and much of the rest of the world. The idea behind this is to filter out all the unwanted TV channels,
Right.
mobile phones, all kinds of stuff, except for the range of frequencies that you're going to be using for your wireless mics. You would use these in pairs, one on each antenna feed into the distro, and that way you eliminate a lot of interference and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is an often overlooked way of eliminating noise and enhancing reliability. Maybe because it's just low tech. These are just passive filters.
Sometimes people don't think that
Yeah.
at that level, They,
And no one ever regrets bandpass filtering their wireless mic receiving systems.
yeah,
no
no,
one
it's
ever.
Something I recommend when people
Yeah.
come through the shop asking those questions for coordination.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate it, Bob. Are
Okay.
there any more questions in the stream?
I was thinking the diversity fin for like the location sound.
Yeah, well, this thing is one of my favorites, honestly.
Yeah.
I told you the story earlier about
You
it.
got a sound card. Why not just have one pole? And
It does 2 things,
Yeah.
A and B side.
yeah, and okay. Want me to turn it?
Yeah, thank you so much. There we go. So there's a look
So
at
it's
the
got a
diversity
vertical
fan.
paddle, which is directional, and it's got a horizontal dipole, which if you viewed from above, the pickup pattern is like a figure 8. Now, any paddle or whip antenna is going to be good for about maybe 300 degrees of polarization pickup, but when you get close to like 80, 90 degrees off, that reception drops off tremendously. So why not have 2 polarization angles
Patterns that, yeah.
in one? The incident signal is going to be some polarization that's going to pick up in the antenna. So as long as the antenna has a good line of sight to the transmitter without, unless the transmitter's some ridiculously far distance, it's going to get a good signal in some polarization. So you're going to have a good signal on at least one antenna.
Right. Yeah.
So
no,
you have an antenna that just doesn't drop out.
and they come with articulated antennas, the shorties. Which
Yeah.
I feel like is
These-
a little bit lost. People
Yeah,
don't
these
appreciate
fold
that as
up
much as they
for
should.
travel. And there you go.
Yeah.
Fits
And it
down
comes with a
flat.
case.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a cover.
So it's 3/8 and half-inch mount on the bottom as well,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, I can show you that. You see on the...
So yeah, all the standard fittings that you know and love. Comes with a protective case for
Yeah.
travel use.
Here, I have to take this off for someone. There it is.
Ah, there it is. There it is. Well, I think about that wraps it up.
Okay.
And we just want to make a reminder that there is a giveaway for the RF Explorer today, and as
And
well
the bandpass filters.
and the
A
bandpass
pair of-
filters.
A pair of bandpass
So-
filters. And if this is not a suitable range of frequency for the winner, just tell us what frequency range you want, and we'll send.
We'll send that. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
them
We'll
to
make
you.
sure we get the
Yeah.
correct frequency range spec.
Well, funny thing, somebody just requested, is there any chance of a 470 to 980 upgrade for the diversity fin antenna, or a new version of the D-fin that would service those frequency ranges?
470 to how?
To 980 or 960.
980.
Yeah.
Yeah, to cover that.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. I can remember when we had that available for wireless mics, and then the FCC chopped off part of the, big chunks of
Understood.
the UHF spectrum.
We
got to
utilized that
six-
that portion from like 940 to 960.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. I remember.
that would be nice
I
to be able
remember
to
doing
adapt with
wireless
one
mics
antenna.
at that like 947 and around there.
So nothing in the pipeline currently.
Nothing now, but
Okay. Maybe we
always
planted
have
a
things,
seed?
We always have things, in development in the lab.
Okay,
So yeah, maybe.
maybe. All right. Well, more comments like that, and maybe that will actually be a real product this time next year,
Yeah.
perhaps. All right. Well, thank you so much, Bob. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you, TK.
We appreciate you guys
All
for
right.
tuning in to the Gotham Sound Expo stream of 2024. We'll see you soon.